So now, is gig work like DoorDash a trap? Like a scam? Meaning, there's not really an opportunity that people think to leave your job and go work full time for these gig work apps. Is it a scam? Like, when you get over there, grass is always greener on the other side, and you realize this is just a job without the perks and the benefits and the vacation days and sick days. Is it a trap though? Do you feel stuck when you get in there? I want y'all to comment below what you think. To all my gig workers, all the different apps, if you are doing it full time with no other primary work, or do you feel trapped? And let me tell you in what ways that you could be trapped in, like that I believe that you can feel trapped in. So I'm gonna start off straight off on your resource, your car, right? Let's start it with that. Now, when you are relying on your car, most people only have one car. A few people have multiple cars, but most people only have one car. Now, when you go to buy your car, if you didn't pay cash, you are usually obviously getting a loan on the car, right? What do you need for that? You need to show history of work. And it's kind of harder to show history of work for gig work because gig work is not consistent. Like, we know how to make it consistent, but on the other end, the people that are giving you a loan are looking at it like you're not that consistent. Now, I have in the past used it, or maybe could have used it for certain few things. What they told me is I could show more than just 3 months, right? 3 months of stubs. We don't get stubs though. We don't get stubs. We get statements now, but back then you didn't even get that. You just got your payout history. And I had to use that, and it was a mess because certain apps don't even put your name on it, and they like to see all of that. Look at your W-2. Your work statements have your name and has all this information on it, a legit statement. So I'm screenshotting my history. Nowadays, they have heard us complaining about it, so now you can print out statements, monthly statements with a lot of these, and you can use that towards buying things. But you obviously have to be on a really good stint of making good money during that period that you show them. It can't be on down times if you're trying to get a car or something like that. But things are progressing. So are you trapped there? Technically, no. It depends on if you are making good money. You technically are not trapped there. Now, if you decide that the money isn't that great on this side after your fees and expenses and gas, and you want to go back into the workforce and get a job, can you get a job that easy? Because now, sure, it's not really a gap technically, but it is a gap because it's not related to what you were working in. Probably, most likely, it's not related. It was whether you were working in, any example, healthcare, sales job. Sales jobs are easy. You can get a sales job. They'll take a chance on you with sales. But all these other industries, they look at it as a gap. They don't look at DoorDash as employment, So it can make it harder to get a job. That you can feel trapped there. You can feel trapped because it's going to be harder to show that on your resume to get another job. It's kind of why I say don't leave your main job, or maybe trade your main job for a part-time job and then cover the rest that whatever you need with the gig work. Because really, you can feel trapped. It can be trapped. Now here's the real way that you could be trapped. You're working, you think you're making a certain amount of money, but as I mentioned, you got fees and things like that coming out, so you technically are not making as much as you think, but you're not doing the math. It's rare that people are doing math and keeping spreadsheets. There's some YouTubers that get nerdy with it, which is great, and they have spreadsheets and stuff. I don't have a spreadsheet, but I do know what I spend per per day on gas and what I keep my receipts for car maintenance. That's about it. I'm sure there's other maintenance and stuff that I'm not. I mean, obviously, like oil changes. I know what that is per month. But so my point is, you're not making as much as you are once you have to pay those taxes, right? So that could be a trap right there. So you're not making it that much money. Now let's say you needed to buy a car, and now you got another bill because you're wearing and tearing on your car. You probably need to have 2 cars for this gig work stuff if you're driving. It's something to think about. I'm just bringing questions to the table for you to think about. I don't have the answers to it, but it's something to think about before leaving your job and doing this, because you're leaving a rat race for a rat trap. It can be a rat trap if you are doing it full time. If you're just doing it part time, doing a couple here and there just to fund your investments, then you should be good. I'm doing it full time, but I'm also doing real estate full time. Even though I am in the middle of shaking things up in my world, and we're gonna see where that leads us. We're gonna see. It's gonna take a while because I think I'm gonna have to look into some stuff. But slowly but surely, you gotta have a plan. You gotta have an end goal if you're gonna do this full time, because if not, you are leaving a rat race for a rat trap. And I really want to just have people think about it. Just be aware that you might want to have a plan of action so you're not in a rat trap. Because if you're doing this full time and your only car go down, so you don't have a car anymore to work, so your income stops, and plus you don't have the money to fix your car and nobody to loan you the money. Oh, game over. You out the game. How do you get bought in? Hopefully you got good credit so you can get a loan, something like that. Not a lot of people have good credit right now. Look around. Have you seen what's going on in the economy? And this isn't supposed to be like a fear video, but we should always be prepared. If you stay prepared, you never have to get prepared, right? The real saying is, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. So it's the Detroit in me that we got to stay ready and think about all these things, whatever could come up. Because I was just at the car shop getting my car worked on, the brake lights wasn't working, and I was thanking God right there and with the people, like, hey, they fixed it for $30. We can already understand that if your brake light's not working, the best case scenario is that you need a light bulb, which is what I needed. And there's some worst case scenarios out there. So thank God, light bulb fixed, $30, and I'm back on the road, because you need your brakes. You need your brake lights. And just last week I spent $350 on brake pads. So stuff happens. But I hope y'all know that this just, hopefully this just triggers you to think about these things before making moves on a full-time part. And part-time, you good, because you got a main job, you got a full-time job, and you're making extra money on the side, so you should be good. And just consider your car. Make sure you're not tearing your car up. We all are wearing our cars down a little bit. So ultimately, you want to have 2 cars if you can. If you live in a household where there's 2 cars, maybe that'd be great, because husband-wife situation or roommate situation, you can borrow cars, and it's like going towards household money. So hopefully that works out. But that's it. Thank you. All right, for the second part, I just want to make sure you know you are never stuck. You have to choose to allow yourself to be stuck or stay stuck. So with knowing that, you might feel like you're stuck no matter where you're at. You might feel like you're stuck at a job. Just know that you can choose today to start working towards getting unstuck. So I couldn't leave this video out without making sure y'all knew that you are not stuck. It's a choice. Stand up. It's like you feel like you're drowning, but then you stand up, you realize the water was only to your knees. Okay, so we can unstuck. Let's get unstuck. All right, y'all. Take care.